Good morning and welcome to the allotment. It's the, let me see, it's the 21st of February. It's been a few weeks since I did a video, mainly due to the poor weather we've had. We've had lots and lots of rain, some bits of snow, and it just hasn't been possible to get down and do any work. It's also been very dull, so there wasn't much point in starting things off. However, there is a little bit of green shoots. So if I just show you what we've actually got. So the swinging shelf is in use, and I've got my sweet peas. And if I move along, if you can see those, the broad beans are just poking through. If we look at the top bed, you can see the garlic and the onions are still moving along, and down here on the middle bed I've got the shallots, I've got onions, red onions as well. Ideally, if it hadn't been so waterlogged, these would be outside, but the ground is just too wet to really plant these out. So these are staying in the polytunnel a bit longer. As you can probably see here, this is the job for today. So I'll be planting the potatoes in buckets, and I've got just over here, I've got buckets. This is some of our own compost, and I'll mix that in with some bought compost. So that will that means I haven't got a massive outlay in terms of compost to get the potatoes growing away. The other thing I add in is the potato fertilizer. So we sell that in the shop here on site. So a handful of that will go in every bucket as well. Okay, so why it's not raining? Because there's a threat of rain. You probably see the clouds behind me. I'll just show you what I've done during the winter when I've had a chance to get down here. I've been down a few times and got soaked. So this area had a bed in. It was right by the bees, so we didn't use it that much. I've got the wildlife pond just above this area, and the bees, they've just stopped flying again now because it's clouded over, but they have been out flying in the bit of sunshine we had earlier. You might see one or two moving about. And the other job I did, still a bit of a work in progress. So there was an apple tree, and I've took that out. That's where these, you can see some roots on the ground here. So the apple tree was there quite close to this top bed. So I put a new apple tree in, and that is there. And I've put a little box border around that. I've now got to do the rest of this area, putting box borders around the trees, and then putting membrane down and putting wood chip on top of that. Bed we had calabrese, and we've been harvesting that, so this bed is now ready to be cleared out. In the bed up adjacent to it, we've got the kale, and again we've been using that up. And we just walk through the allotment. This is the bed with the spring flowers, and those are all poking through now. It needs a bit of a tidy, but we should have a nice display of spring flowers in there. What will be on another video, I won't get to do it today because I think the rain's on its way, but here we've got the gooseberry bushes. They need to be pruned now, and I'm also going to take some cuttings, so that will be another video. I need to clean the bed as well. And while we're walking through, I'll show you the sprouts are virtually finished. We've got a few left to harvest, but that's pretty much all we've got. We've got a few leeks left, and we've got some cabbage and some parsnips. But you can see the strong winds we've had and the rain have sort of left us a bit dilapidated, so lots of tidying up to do, which hopefully will be done over the weekend. So what I'm going to do, some of my own compost is going in here. This is a mixture of horse manure and waste products from the kitchen, and a bit of used compost out of the carrots that we grew as well. So that's quite a good mix. It's a bit more solid than the bought compost as well. So there's a couple of inches in the bottom of the bucket, as you can see, and then just get a couple of these potatoes. These are Swift. Put those in, and then again a bit of a mixture. Make sure it's all nicely covered. So those two potatoes are covered up. Still a chance of frost, so we don't want the frost getting to them, so a good thick layer of compost for them to go away. So that's that. Then a handful of the potato fertilizer just gets a bit more, just gets spread on top, and then just a bit more of this compost, and that's the bucket covered. And I need to put a label on there so I know what it is, but I'm only planting up Swift today, and then I've got some Pentland Javelin, I think they are, to plant up in a couple of weeks time. But I like to spread them a little bit, so these will be the first potatoes that I harvest come May time probably. Okay, so I've got another 5 buckets to do, and then these will stay in here. They'll have a water, they'll then stay in here in the polytunnel again to protect them from frost, and providing we don't get any severe frost, we should get away with it. This is normally the time I plant these. The last, I don't know how many years, I've either used compost bags, or the last few years I've used these white buckets to grow the potatoes in, and I've always planted during the mid to end of February, and I haven't had any losses due to frost. They've got nipped a few times, and when we've had a severe frost threatened, I've come down and put a covering of scaffold netting or enviromesh over the top, and that's protected them enough. So hopefully we'll have a trouble-free spring. Okay, I'll get on with that and then get back to you in a minute. Okay, so that's all 6 buckets done. The last thing is to label them up. So I'll just tie my label on. That's the label in place. So like I say, these are all Swift, and These should come on quite quick, as the name suggests. These are always the first ones, even when we've planted these at the same time as other potato varieties. We found that these are the first to sort of give us a crop. So now I tend to do these first, get them cropped, and then we'll put in some other early varieties as well in these buckets, and then in about a month's time I'll be planting them outside in the open ground. Okay, so that's the job for today completed. Like I say, we've got a major catch-up exercise to do now. Hopefully we'll get some dry weather and we can get some jobs done outside. See you again soon. Bye for now.